What's up, guys? Brad here. We interrupt your Soulcon weekly teaching with a message about the Soulcon digital ministry. We want to talk to you about that, all the different layers of digital ministry that we have and ways you can get connected to the brotherhood that is Soulcon. So, as we always do, if you've got your beverage, got my famous Seer trained cup here. If you've read the challenge book, you know a little bit about Seer School. Cody talked about that in the book. So, have a little drink. Let's have a prayer and let's get started. Father, thank you so much for this day and the blessings you've given us. We thank you for the opportunity you give us to serve and honor you. Let us not say or do anything outside of your will. And thank you for this brotherhood and this ministry that is Soulcon. In your most gracious heaven name we pray, amen. All right, man. The Soulcon digital ministry. What does that even mean? Well, I'm going to talk about it for a little bit and all the different ways you can get connected and kind of how things evolved. So the Soulcon challenge, of course, started with the book from Cody. And we learned really quickly that there's guys around the world that were taking the challenge, but they were taking it on their own. So through Facebook, a tool that has been used by man for many other things and a lot of things that are not good and not God, we decided to go into that field, in the Facebook field, create a page and give men an opportunity to get connected to something that's going to fill them with the brotherhood, to fill them with God, to connect them with other guys around the world that might be still experiencing some of the things that they are. So we had the Soulcon community page, and the Soulcon community page is essentially your introduction to Soulcon, right? It is an opportunity for us to kind of get to know you, to get a chance for you to see what the ministry is about, and then from there, we had guys that were going through the challenge, and so we created a challenge specific page. So if you were in the challenge, you could connect to guys that were going day by day through the challenge with you, that could understand what you were reading, what you were reflecting on, and you could reflect on it together. Those challenge pages are specific to the challenge. The best way I can describe it is, when I was in Marine Corps boot camp, we had many platoons, but each one had its own distinction. And things that happened in our platoon may not have happened in the platoon three barracks over. And so there was connections made inside that barracks, as you can imagine, going through 13 weeks living together and experiencing life from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, um, as a unit. And so there are bonds that are formed through that experience. In the same way, there are bonds that are formed through the Soulcon challenge experience that is unique to that challenge. Things that will happen in one challenge will not be duplicated again. So if you're in a Soulcon challenge, we want you to get connected to a challenge page, and we want you to share with the brothers things that you're dealing with. Reflect on what you may have read for the day, successes, failures, struggles, triumphs. We want to share all that together, encourage one another, keep each other accountable, and get through that 42-day experience together, and get over some of those days where you may be thinking about quitting, and guys will step in and say, hey, brother, we're lock shields with you. Let us carry you through this day because you're going to carry us through the next. In addition to that, so we have the Soulcon community page we talked about, the Soulcon challenge page we talked about. We also noticed that things were happening from state to state, events that were happening, and guys on one part of the state may not have even known they existed. So we created state pages. Yes, there is a state page for all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii, and even some overseas. We got Hungary, Japan. We've got a lot, Spanish. We have a lot of challenges, or pages beyond the 50 states as well. But for every state that exists, there is a state page. And the purpose of the state page is so you can get connected to guys within your state. Maybe you can schedule runs together. Maybe you can schedule Bible studies together, or just meet. We here in Oklahoma, we have a local group that's a kind of a territorial thing that anyone that's within traveling distance that wants to be there, we meet on Monday night. And whether you're in a challenge, out of a challenge, whether you're in Soulcon or considering Soulcon, you can come to that Monday night meeting, and we announce that on the state page. One of my personal favorite experiences that happened through the state page, I was barely in Soulcon, only a few weeks into the challenge. I had joined the state page, and someone mentioned an event called Rewired. Now, the irony is this Rewired event is literally 15 minutes from my house, and it's been an annual event for I don't know how long, but I had never heard of it. I got connected to the state page, and the first time I'd heard of Rewired was through the state page. again, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought Rewired was a Soulcon event because I had never heard of it anywhere else. So I went anticipating that it was just going to be a bunch of Soulcon guys. Well, the good news was there was a lot of Soulcon guys there, maybe close to 100 from all different areas, some from Texas, Arkansas, even beyond that. And that was the first time I had an opportunity to meet Cody. I met John, Michael. I met leadership from the SoCon ministry and had a chance to really get to sit down with these guys, get to know them. And it really made a connection to the SoCon ministry that propelled me to want to do more and to want to exceed and excel through the challenge and beyond. Would not have known about Rewired had I not been connected to the Oklahoma State page. And now it's an annual event. I look forward to it every year. I plan around it. And I don't know how long it had been going on before then, but ever since then, it has become a priority in my life. Men, those things happen throughout the nation, and you can find out about them and get connected to them through your state pages and get connected to men close to you that maybe you are within traveling distance to get to that you might not be able to connect with beyond that. So that's the community page, the challenge page, the state page. Guys, when you take a challenge, every Tuesday night we have what's called a Zoom call. Again, hadn't heard of that until I joined SoCon. However, Zoom has been something my company picked up, and so I've been able to navigate through Zoom better than some of the guys in my business because I was using it in SoCon first, which is an awesome experience, right? So the Zoom experience, if you've never heard of it, it's a chance for us to look at each other like this, face to face, live, and communicate with one another, just like I'm communicating with you now, except there's a chance for you to speak back to me. I can see your face, so I can hear your expressions. We can tell jokes to each other, all that kind of stuff. That Tuesday night Zoom call, we have a message that's given, but then we have brothers that are sharing intimate stuff about what's going on with them in the challenge or even just in their life. And some of the greatest connections and bonds that are formed in the SoCon ministry are formed through the SoCon Zoom calls on Tuesday nights. But you got to be in the challenge to be on those calls. Men, there is a lot that happens through the digital ministry that brings us together physically. I've had an opportunity, again, I got to meet Michael and John, who are from Louisiana, and I'm here in Oklahoma, and I promise you that would not have happened were it not for the digital ministry that is SoCon. I got to meet Rob Roy, who's from Arizona. Just got to meet him just a couple of weeks ago for the first time. Now, we've talked to each other daily. We Zoom and Marco Polo and have conversations with each other daily, and I got to meet him physically face to face for the first time, even though I felt like I know him very well. I got to give him a big hug and me a big hug. He's a huge guy, by the way. The pictures don't do him justice. And as a matter of fact, what I want to do with this particular weekly teaching, I want you, each of you, especially you veterans, I want you to post some pictures in the comments below of some face-to-face opportunities you've had with guys maybe from beyond your state or even within your state that you know wouldn't have happened were it not for the SoCon digital ministry. Men, I know of guys who were deployed, who had family members that were going to the hospital, and SoCon brothers went on their behalf and prayed over their fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, children on their behalf while they were out of state, while they were out of country. And that is all through the digital ministry that is SoCon. Men are connected. I'm connected with guys in South Carolina and Arizona and all parts of the world. And I feel like I know them better than some close personal friends right here in Ardmore, Oklahoma, that I know them strictly through the digital ministry. It is a powerful tool. It is an effective tool. It has been working well for the SoCon ministry. It is growing tremendously. We want you to get plugged in to not just one of those pages. We want you to get plugged into all of them. The SoCon community page and encourage guys to take a challenge. Get plugged into the challenge pages, whether you've taken a challenge or not. Encourage guys that are new and veterans that may be struggling to get through the challenge. And then we want you to get connected in your state page and talk about what's going on in your state, connections that can be made locally and in your area of your state, whether it's running together, meeting together for Bible study, or just fellowship. We've even got guys that meet up on a monthly basis and go shoot guns together. It's an awesome thing, man. And all of that happens through the digital ministry that has created the opportunity for us to come together as brothers face to face. Guys, We want you to get connected to the Soulcon digital ministry through our pages on Facebook, through the Zoom calls on the challenge on Tuesday nights. And we want to hear from you. We want to be a part of your life, and we want to share life with you. We want to go through this thing together. We are stronger together. So do me a favor. If you've had a chance to meet somebody through Soulcon and you consider them a close friend, post a picture of that in the comments below. Just a little snippet on where you're from, where they're from, even a comment on how you met and what your relationship is like. Let's engage in some dialogue together. I look forward to seeing you on another weekly teaching. God bless you guys. Advance.